Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Good Morning Soul. And today I'm going to be doing another Oscar-nominated short film analysis. And I couldn't find, one of these films. I looked everywhere for it online, and I couldn't find it. The only place I saw I could buy it, I saw I could, rent it on some random website for, $3-4. And I was like, fuck that. All these other movies I'm buying on YouTube, and I don't even have, if I want to do short film analysis, I can find 100 in a minute on YouTube for free if I really wanted to. But that's besides the point. Ones that are actual counted as films too. But it is what it is. Today we're gonna be talking about I decided to do this film after I couldn't find that one. So, today we're talking about, that was the lead-in. Today we're talking about Day 1, and we're not talking about Day 1A1. We're talking about a woman who works for the army. She is an interpreter for, the military. She'll just be interpreting stuff for them, and it's her first day on the job, and it's pretty fucking dramatic. She's getting used to the lifestyle here, showering with a bunch of dudes nearby and not really used to the air, stuff like that. And then next thing you know, there's people dying, and then she gets caught up in this family that, there's this squabble. And then suddenly she is supposed to be helping this woman give birth, one of the families that the military guys are fucking with. And I'm using words like this because it doesn't elaborate like the other movies. It's just kind of like, oh, yep, you're here now. The Afghan war, what's going on. No context other than that. So we go into the fucking family. There's this pregnant woman who, she falls in the miscommunication, and then the woman, the interpreter, goes to check on her, and the next 10 plus 15 minutes is just her giving birth. And there's this doctor who's not allowed inside the little sanctuary area because of traditions, so she has to do all this hard work, even though he just comes in later anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But she checks the heartbeat of this baby, and they're like, oh shit, it's dead. And then they're like, well, and then they realize, okay, well, we gotta get that baby out of you, and the only way we're gonna get out of you without murdering you is to cut the baby. Cut it up into pieces. We're gonna cut the arm off, and then we're just gonna keep chopping it up. And, our interpreter is just like, yeah, I can't do that. So, this really fucked up scene of us watching this woman give birth. I've seen people give birth in films before. A lot of the time it warrants this very, it's like actual birth. It's a lot of fucking stress and agony, but it ends with a life, the most pure thing that could happen, a life being bestowed upon us onto the planet. That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. And that's what happens here in this movie. Because the baby's not dead. I guess they were just fucking with us. They're like, oh, yep, it's alive now. And then the woman bleeds out. She dies. In the span of 20 seconds, we had woman healthy and well. Oh, she's bleeding. Oh, she's dead. And it was very unrewarding, very unearned pathos, as a YouTuber I know would say. It's very emotionally manipulative. It's very gross, and it ends with the guy he gets arrested like normal, and this woman is just kind of stuck with this deciding what she's gonna do with the baby. I don't like this film. This was a bad movie, which isn't. Out of all the films I've seen on this list, I've seen a couple, I want to say a dozen or two. No, just a dozen, I would say, at least. let's say a dozen to 15, and I've liked all of them, which is a good record. You know, there's bound to be some Oscar bait bullshit in here that I'm not gonna like, but this was the first film I didn't like, and it was the first one. I liked how someone said, like, in the Letterboxd reviews, like, oh, out of all the films nominated this year, the one made by Americans is the emotionally manipulating, like, bullshit one. And did we need to talk about a baby getting cut up and pulled from some woman? Like, yeah, this was a very, very hard, like, film to watch and not worth it at all. You know, usually hard to watch scenes, you know, pan out. Like, if you watch Girl with a Dragon Tattoo, there's a rape scene, but the bad guy gets his comeuppance, so it's, like, kind of worth it. This is just ew, like, and it doesn't go anywhere. Again, this is just a fucking tragedy. Like, I'm sick of these fucking tragedies where it's just trying to make me feel bad, and that's all that's happening. What am I supposed to get out of this film? Nothing. There's nothing to get from this film. Like, I like the acting, like, everything that happened, it was filmed well enough, I guess. But, like, what were we trying to achieve here? Like, I don't even know. Like, what were these writers and directors going for? They're just like, oh, here's something cool that happened, let's make a short film out of it. No. Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm kind of just baffled by this film a little bit. Let's see what else this guy's directed. Henry Hughes. Oh, this is all he's ever directed. Cool. And this film came out 3 years ago, so he might want to bump up his resume. So I don't know how this got nominated. This doesn't seem like well, it does seem like an Oscar type movie, but it doesn't seem like I assume they have enough short films out there that they had better selection than this. I don't know. I'm just gonna cut this one off. This was a weird, dumb film. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 10. Fuck this movie. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow with another episode. And with that, I leave you. I can't believe I spent $2 on this.